Great to be joined by Linus Ullmark from Sweden today. Linus, it's always wonderful to see you. How have you been, and how's your family?
Thank you very much for having me. Feeling great. Family's doing well as well. It's a weird situation, that's for sure, but it certainly feels a lot better being closer to family and relatives.
And I'm assuming that some of the same rules are in place where you are, but not necessarily the exact same as what we're going through.
No, we don't have any quarantine here in Sweden. We do have the same guidelines of trying to stay inside as much as possible, only buy your essentials for when you're buying groceries. We have some certain rules regarding big gatherings. You can't have more than 50 people in a one and all gathering. Restaurants are still open, but they kind of transformed into all these takeaway restaurants, which is weird because we never had that in Sweden. We basically don't have a lot of big takeaway chains here, especially up north.
Yeah, and it's definitely the same here now with restaurants just trying to survive. How's it been at home? It's strange time of year, obviously, for you to be able to be at home, but I'm sure there's a great benefit with your young son.
Certainly is. Been able to bond with him a lot more, especially now when we're staying a little bit more. It's a very peculiar time as well for him. He's recently turned 2, so with that comes some challenges. Certainly, a lot of parents know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's frustrating sometimes. You gotta take a couple seconds to take a deep breaths and just say he's 2 years old. He's not 15 or anything like that. But it's been great fun. It's one of those nice things when stuff like this happens, is that you get to enjoy your family a lot more than you are during the season.
It's funny, there are a lot of cliches in life that some people don't like hearing, but the terrible twos when it comes to youngsters might be the truest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It certainly is. Especially, I was very naive thinking that he didn't have anything because I was staying away during that time. And then I came home and we started being home with him a little bit more. And I realized that, I was so wrong.
What are you doing to stay active physically, and how are you feeling? Obviously, because the season for everybody is a grind.
Yeah, it certainly is. That's also one of the things that are kind of like a blessing in disguise for me after coming off a knee injury. That is enable me to kind of do a lot more rehab and prehab and taking care of that and letting it heal. I was ready to go and play, but now I have better ground to stand on if we are met with the decision that the season will continue or anything like that. So it's, everything about it is, there's some good things here, there's some bad things there. Certainly it's harder to stay in shape. Hoping that I'm doing a good job so far. We have the option to actually hit the gyms here in Sweden, and I've been fortunate to have a gym that doesn't have a lot of members during my times when I'm actually working out. There's mostly during lunchtime and in the afternoon, and I'm there in the morning. So I don't get to see a lot of people, and that was one of the things going into this whole weird off season, that trying to stay away from people as much as possible, and it's been good so far.
You've always been so honest and upfront, I think, about your path and where you always want to get better, and almost you speak a lot, I think, without necessarily saying them incomplete, but you have a lot of goals. I'm wondering, when you're at a time like this, do you find yourself reflecting and resetting and repositioning some of these goals for when you do get back?
Yeah, I certainly do. Like I haven't started thinking about, like for me, the season is not over yet. I haven't taking the time to reevaluate and evaluate my season so far. For me, it's still a grind to come back in good shape and get the best possible work in for my knee and my body, because I know that it's, we talked about that before going home to Sweden. It's a lot easier to stay in shape if the season continues than to get in shape.
Mm-hmm.
If so, we had a good conversation, me and Belsi and the management about it, and obviously coming back home, kept that conversation going with my trainers here as well. So I'm really hoping, and so far it's been going well. Now it's just a question of how long is this going to take.
For sure. You mentioned Mike Bales. It's been a while since I asked you just what that relationship, grew into this year, and how best would you say you guys have been able to work off each other?
Well, it certainly is a interesting thing whenever you get to work with a new coach, especially for us goalies. We get very close to our coaches. I got really close to Andrew, a great, terrific guy. And then when he was let go and Balesy came in, it's always interesting to see, okay, how is this going to be working with us socially and between us? Because, you can always work with a person on a professional level, but it would always be a good thing for you as a goalie that it works on a social level. And it has really been working well. We had his family is helping me and my wife with having some not daycare but babysitter for sometimes, just helping us out with and during that point of that sort of thing. Other than that, I just think that he's been in Sweden as well, so he kind of knows where I'm coming from regarding the daily life and how we are as a person, and so also from that point of view, I always have just good things to say about Belsi and the work that we've done so far.
Very good. Linus, great insight as always. Thank you, and best of health to you and your family.
Thank you very much, Duffer.